ahead. Wake up all your teachers, start to teach a new way.
You've been saying new morning show
For 5 years,
right.
And we're gonna be new for 5 more years.
Well, can we just be the longest running?
We can talk about that.
Podcast.
We this is a radio show, but
and podcast, like
radio show and podcast. Thank y'all. So if you're tuning in on Facebook, thank y'all for tuning in. If you're tuning in Radio Land, thank you for tuning in. Lock us in, turn us up, and break the knob off.
Yes. So
don't break the knob off if you at work, because that ain't your radio.
Unless you the boss. Unless you like started the company.
Now, if you the boss, call in at 727-637-2416.
Because like I've been the boss of some places.
You have,
but it ain't my company.
Yes. So okay. Let's talk about this. New York City. Let's talk about this. If you are the manager and not the owner, are you really the boss?
You run a shift.
Or are you being bossed?
Well, it depends. It depends. Well,
let's ask the audience.
Okay,
audience.
Oh, my Lord.
Audience, if you are at your job and you're the manager,
yes,
are you the boss
of the day of the shift?
Or are you being bossed?
All the above. I mean, even when you're the owner, you still have somebody you have to answer to, and that's your customers.
It's a different kind of answer, though.
No, you really gotta please the masses.
I mean, it's a different kind of. I mean, I've been in some establishments where the owner could care less about individual employees one by one.
Right. Well, that's horrible.
I mean, some people are succeeding. I know some real successful a-holes. They crushing it. Shout out to all the a-holes crushing it.
That's what you said.
I'm just saying, cause they be. Or it
you know, it's What's on Your Mind Wednesday, y'all. So it's kind of, and so I guess crushing a-holes is what it is.
No, crushing a-holes is not what it is.
Oh, it's not what it is. So last night, I saw that there was they talked about, what's the name? You went to it. The Sierra Club?
Oh, yes. The Fix the Deal meeting. So last night at the Enoch Davis Center, we attended and I actually haven't been to one of these type of meetings yet before.
Other than the ones we throw?
But we ain't thrown no Fix the Deal meeting.
Not this one, but we throw something similar. But go ahead. But you haven't been to the Fix the Deal.
Yes. That particular type of
for the gas plant district.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
And so,
other than the city hall ones.
And so okay then. So I'm glad we can have this conversation.
Yeah, we can.
And so the previous meetings that I went to that were a part of the gas plant redevelopment, if everybody don't know, Tropicana Field, aka BKA, the gas plant district redevelopment plan has been going on for like a year and a half, 2 years, and maybe more, since the restructuring of the deal by our current mayor, Kenneth T. Welch. And after that process, that's how we got here now with the Raise Hines deal.
Right.
That's just a summary for those who don't know what's going on. This is the biggest deal in these United States. There isn't a downtown corridor being developed this size anywhere in the United States, and a lot of people say North American hemisphere. So it's something very important for us to keep an eye on. And a lot of people are saying that this deal is inadequate. This deal does not service the community. They said the talk is that the deal isn't up to par with previous deals in other cities.
Okay.
I actually attended a meeting Monday with the former economic development director, Alan Delisle. If people know, Alan Delisle was our economic development director under was the Rick Kreisman, Mayor Rick Kreisman, the former mayor.
Right.
And he had a lot of reasons why he did not like the deal. He had a lot of reasons why that this deal he feels isn't the deal the city of St. Pete should be making. He feels that the city is severely underrepresented when it comes to, profits and profit sharing. And that we're too heavily reliant, or the taxpayers is paying for everything.
For everything. So.
They say it's a public-private partnership. Alan Delisle says this is a public development. The public is paying for the substantial amount of the development, and the private partner isn't paying for anything up front. His payments don't come until 10, 20 years later, and he has the ability to assign the contracts and sell off property as he goes. So a lot of people have started rallying together and having these meetings because people feel it's too heavy of a tax burden for the citizens of St. Pete.
Right.
They feel that this deal, as it's structured right now, will cost every household in the city of St. Pete $15,000 to $20,000 per household because of how the deal structured.
And wait, 15 to 20,000 extra per household.
When black people are already only making 24,000.
Right.
You 4,000 in the hole. You starting off.
And to be a single person here in Pinellas County or in Florida,
yes,
you have to make $94,000.
Yes.
To just live comfortably.
Yes.
So to add another $20,000 to someone,
15 to 20, because I don't want somebody to be down my throat about the numbers that I didn't get right. But the reality is 15 to 20 on top of the 90 that you need. So you're looking like 120, 130 to live here, when the average job paying 50 and 40. Right. And the average black household is 27. So, but long story short, and I kind of got into a back and forth online with a poster because I usually don't post on this type of stuff. I haven't came out for the deal or against the deal. No, well, I would say I am against the deal at this current form.
At this current form,
I'm against
what we say is because there's definitely some changes that need to be made, right?
Yeah. Like
I think that
everything
I haven't posted anything about it, but we've been very informative.
Yes, that's our job.
About what's going on when it comes to this Raise Hines deal.
The deal. Boom, boom.
And it's something that's gonna shape our community for the next 20, 30 plus years.
Correct.
So it's something that we really need to be involved in.
Correct.
And that we need to know, even the people who think that it doesn't affect them, if you don't feel like that it's going to affect you now, it will affect your children as well.
I think this and that's what we were talking about at the meeting. Big shots. This wasn't like a Sierra Club meeting, a couple other organizations. And to be honest, like I said, I was posting and I was reading posts. So there are these sponsored posts that are coming through on social media. And I don't know if my algorithm, I don't know. So they're giving me the sponsors. They're giving me the sponsored post, and So I'm reading the comments, and the dude like, oh, this redevelopment for all the black people, and what about everybody else? And da 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 da. So it just provoked me to write in the comments that like, well, the black people feel the same way. Black people feel this for the white people.
Right.
It seemed like we are being pitted against each other. What they say, divide and conquer. So the optics are that this deal is for the black community, and that the black community will be benefiting tremendously from this deal.
Good morning, Miss Teresa.
And those optics play out differently in the black community, because the black community don't see this as being tremendously beneficial to them.
Right.
And we do have, select black leadership who has really came out for this deal. And it does seem as if the community don't even know about this deal, y'all.
Yeah.
Community ain't talking about this deal. That's why we started talking about it, because we was like, ain't nobody talking about it.
Right, because how many 18 people?
Yeah.
How many people would?
Yeah.
Like 18,
17 or something.
Like that.
Less than 100 people
came in
yes.
and applied or responded
to the survey
to
request.
The surveys that the requests that the Rays sent out
yes.
there. And so again, like, I'm one of them people, like, I want a great deal. Like, I'm not here to bash it per se, but I'm telling you that I don't feel that it's right. Now, when you're looking at like the black and white thing, we always want to be inclusive, but let's call it what it is. This was a black neighborhood that they took.
Yes.
And it was okay then, and we wasn't talking about how fair it was for whites and blacks at that point.
That's how white supremacy works. They flip it on you, right? That's just like white people had all the privilege, all the selections, but then as soon as we do affirmative action or something like that, and they go to the Supreme Court, and now we just got to treat everybody fair.
Right.
And the reality is, well, there is some people who have 400, 500 years of unfair access to everything. And now all of a sudden, but that's another conversation.
Right.
And I think that this Tropicana deal, they're using the people's non-participation as support, because you're not coming out and saying you're against it or saying anything about it. They're counting you as a supporter. And then when every black leader comes up and says, yeah, this is a great deal, I love it, that person or that group now officially represents the entirety of our community, which it never does and never did.
Good morning, Aaron.
And only at times like this will they try to, in an attempt to be that voice, right? That's when they're going back. That's the gatekeepers. Yeah. And the reality is this deal is so horrible. There has never been stipulations in stadium agreements such as the ones that are in our agreement. Right. And these stipulations to the agreements actually put the sports team, MLB, in control of the land, in control of the direction of the land for the next 40, 50, 100 years. Right. And then leaves the city of St. Pete. So if they don't fulfill options, this deal can't be canceled. Right. So you know how you say, okay,
now they own the land.
Yeah. So if you can't do this and you don't do this, I can't cancel it. I just don't do it. It's just not done. So now if I don't do that, you can't cancel it. It's just not done.
And if I'm not mistaken, because they will now own the land, if they leave, now they dictate what happens.
Yes.
Once they leave. So not only
they control the land and their destiny.
Right. So if we're wrong, let us know. But I mean, and thank you for the stars, Karen.
Yes. Karen was a part of the meeting I was talking about that happened on Monday with the former director Alan Delisle. And one of the things that I learned while on that call is that the responsibility and all the punitive damages is facing the city, and the MLB sports team, the private sector, has no accountability measures, or very lax or very small accountability measures.
So they win regardless. they in this situation where this is how this is set up, if let's say it crumbles on St. Pete in Pinellas County.
Yes, the Rays can leave, sell their land, and up goes the up.
So I mean, there's a meeting tomorrow, right?
Yes, City Hall. If
City
you
Hall. Now this meeting you can listen. There's nobody speaking like the
but you
public.
no public comment.
No public comments on here.
Yeah, so it's called a cow, the committee of the whole.
Right, and so
I don't know why
everybody.
they call it a cow.
I don't know. We gotta ask somebody. But not me or you because neither one of us know.
Oh, it's committee of the whole. I know
Okay, no, I'm just saying. You say cow, like wow. So
yes.
Back to what I was saying.
What you
is that
saying?
is now they're gonna give you their opinion on it, and they're gonna discuss it.
Yes, the city council members is going on tomorrow, and you can write. We've been telling people to write city council, write your council members, let them know that this is not the best deal for the city. Let them know that under scrutiny from experts, professionals. These are not just citizens. This is scrutiny from experts saying that we're gonna have a huge burden on the taxpaying citizen of the city of St. Pete that that burden would not translate to the MLB team.
And let me tell you, so here, these are things that we talked about on the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. So today is May 8th. Right, May 8th,
yes.
2024. So MLB do want a new stadium here by 2028.
Yep. No, they've been selling me 7 or 8, 27, 28.
2028.
Yes.
They want a new one. So that's 4 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
It seems rushed, but I know everybody has their deadlines, but I'm gonna say at this point, this does not feel good for the city.
I agree. I think my humble opinion is that this deal needs to be renegotiated. That the needs of the city cannot be met or fulfilled through this deal. And I'm not saying that as if this deal is supposed to solve all the problems in our community. I think that this has been a talking point. This deal can't solve all the problems in our community, but this deal can be the crux of completing this community. If you look at $600 or $1 billion, you know what kind of savings you can help people buy houses like crazy. You can give down payment assistance. You can give a person a home loan and make profit off the loan. It's so many things you can do with this type of money, and not just build a stadium for a team that will keep all the profits.
Right.
We need profit sharing. Right, we need ownership, on-site ownership,
right,
for whether it's a business or home. I mean,
we need the option also. Like, here we go, everybody. So we know
when
you look up here, is everybody don't want ownership, right? Fine and dandy. If you don't, I'm one of the people that do. Right.
I mean, thank you.
And so let me say,
thank you. Okay. I'm so glad you said that. Fine and dandy. If you don't,
but I'm one of the people that do. You know, and I know a couple of other people that would love it as well, and who this deal has affected their families for generations.
Yes.
Right. Yes. Also, I understand we have jobs out there, but if you're going to give people real jobs, and I know not all of them are going to be where we want them to be, but most of these jobs, people should be able to afford to live on that property. Right. Don't just give them part-time wages and part-time work where they can't afford it.
Part-time raise with full-time bills. See, that's one of the things that a lot of people have been complaining about the Tropicana whole development from the beginning. We took full-time bills for part-time employment.
Right.
So
and so, listen, we're going to have to do a hard stop, but we're going to continue this conversation. We have a lot more to add because it is What's on Your Mind Wednesday. definitely call in if you jump into this conversation. We'll be back 7 minutes after the hour. Stay tuned. Tag a friend, tell a friend. We'll be back.
Hello, I'm Gabe Ortiz, and this is WEDU Arts Plus. Based out of St. Pete, the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club is a morning radio show about hip-hop life and urban culture. Meet the hosts who inform and empower their listeners.
I'm Jabbar Edmond. I go by Mr. Edmond. My role, I'm a host and I'm co-founder.
My name is Brother John Muhammad, Your Brother John, YourBrotherJohn.com. And my role on the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club is host or co-host.
I just go by Kiana. Sometimes you may hear the guys call me Q. I may say Q just depending on my personality that day. And I'm the female of the crew. All right? I think I keep balance when you look at the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. So that's my role.
And I'm Bruce Moore Jr. A lot of people do know Bruce Moore Jr., obviously being born and raised here and going to school here, but there's many more people that know Reno.
St. Pete is small, and so the good things and bad things that come with a small city, you know, everybody knowing each other, of course, would be one of the pluses.
My neighbors were not only just my neighbors, they became my family.
Trying to put that back now, like really getting back to a place where we know our neighbors and we look out for each other. It was a St. Pete that existed, you know, south of Central, and then there was another St. Pete that existed north of Central and downtown. It was a struggle then, and I think it's still, you know, somewhat a struggle for black people in the city of St. Pete.
Even with every step of progress we make, it's still a struggle to, implement that progress.
Did y'all hear about the weed college, the first cannabis college
in Orlando?
Talk to us, Soprano.
No, yeah, I've been looking at it.
This is serious, y'all.
Over a year ago.
If you got the charges,
marijuana.
go and get the degrees, King. You got years of experience, man. It ain't like you come into a classroom with no data.
Elon Musk said that a drug dealer knows how to manage and run a business better.
I can't believe that.
The real facts, man.
I'm all about education. But what I'm saying is that we carry this industry on our backs.
The way we started the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, Jabbar approached me about what could we do, how can we do something together, and then an opportunity to promote Amendment 4. Amendment 4 is the, voting rights restoration to returning citizens. We were able to negotiate a deal where we got like 30 minutes on the radio, got 99 jams to talk about, Amendment 4 and other local, policies. To returning citizens. We were able to negotiate a deal where we got like 30 minutes on the radio, got 99 jams to talk about, Amendment 4 and other local, policies and politics. Enjoyed it, so we started doing it on Sundays as like a podcast with, at the time, Janet Michelle. She was our co-host and she, filled that role until she moved. And then we had Carla Bristol, Carla B. She came in for a season. And then Reno was behind the scenes. He was always present because we did organizing together, so he'd come and hang out. And then the things that he was saying off camera was like, man, we might as well just have you on the show.
The negative thoughts that you is thinking about right now, or any particular subject, y'all, just flip it.
Turn problems into opportunities.
Problems are opportunities, man. Big shouts out to Sean Soprano, man.
Real deal, man.
We on the jump board together right now. Just being around people and clearly always talking, I just felt like at least learn something, so as you see that you're not going to shut up, you can have substance to your conversation and not just be labeled somebody who just love to talk.
Really being informative, looking to give the information that isn't readily available in our community.
Multiple meteorologists can look at the same data and come up with a different forecast.
And so now you take those models, take that data and say, okay, based upon all of that,
Absolutely.
you might be in between here and there, and that's my know I'm saying speech. Most recently, after Carla B, transitioned out and went to do other things as well, Kiana, we invited Kiana.
I've been working with the guys for a while outside of this, and they called me to interview. And when I came in to interview that Sunday, after the show, they was like, hey, you need to be a part of the show. And I was like, okay.
I look at it almost like a band and the instruments, but it's just the instrument that we're using is our voices.
My voice is already kind of squeaky. I know my voice can get squeakier.
You have to have your radio voice on and have that vocal control.
I talk lower when I need to calm it down. And when I'm very passionate about it, I slow it down. And because I want you to understand what I'm saying. What's good for the geese is good for the gander. So if you keep it secrets, just know that she can too.
Okay, and see that's why Kiana, that's why you need it on the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. You feel? Because you gonna even things out. You know what I'm saying? I was just joking. You know what I'm saying? It was joking.
We just understand power, you know, and in terms of people's attention, you know, because it costs. People's attention costs. That's why it's called pay attention.
We want to present local information right up there with, the trending topics.
One thing that's a common denominator with all of us is that we're all passionate about our people.
For me, what you take from me is that I'm real and I'm passionate about the growth of our people.
The overall goal, I would say, is to have a more informed community. Around electoral politics, around health, around equity.
It's about the mission of connecting the dots and closing the gaps, inspiring people to see what's possible, and trying to be an example. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing sometimes, but you do the best that you can with what you have, and you pray that others will be inspired to join in.
For more info, visit cdatcenter.org.
This is the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club.
I am Kiana.
And I am the one and only Mr. Edmund.
And welcome back to the second half of the show.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Y'all made Mr.
Edmund put on his
I had to put on the protective eyewear because we shining in this piece. Shit.
No, we're not doing that.
We're gonna trademark that shit.
We're not.
Okay, we're gonna do that.
We're not doing that today. But welcome back. So if you were here at the top at the 7 o'clock hour, we was talking about the Raise Hines deal. Tomorrow the city council get together. What's the name of it again?
What?
The cow.
Oh, Committee of the Whole. Yes, tomorrow is the Committee of the Whole, and they will be talking about the deal. You can't make comments, but you can write your council member.
Yes.
Write your council member. Email.
Not for this section, but then what happen is they will then bring it to city council where there will be, after this.
Yes.
And there will be a vote. Now, then you can. The public sector is allowed to comment.
But what we've been telling people is that. Hold
on 1 second, caller.
Although there is not a public comment tomorrow, we are encouraging people to write an email because the council members get emails. And when they get your email saying fix the deal, caller, go ahead. What's your name and what you're talking about?
Hi, good morning. This is Karen Mueller, and I just appreciate everything you're talking about. I agree with you 100%.
Thank you, Karen.
All right, Karen, tell me just a real quick couple questions. What you been involved? What made you after you was on the CAC, the Community Advisory Committee for the Community Benefits Agreement, but what made you really get active with this?
Well, once you start learning more about the deal, you start finding out it's got so many problems. It's got a lot of window dressing, but underneath it's got a lot of problems for the community.
What you think was the biggest problem for the community in the deal?
Well, it's going to require hundreds of millions of dollars of public funds. We're investing all of this valuable real estate, plus we're giving them $130 million for infrastructure, and that money is just going to be used for the stadium infrastructure.
Okay. I want to definitely thank you for that. And we will be back in touch. And you guys are organizing folks to write emails. Where should they send their emails?
They need to email their city council person, Deborah Fig-Sanders and Gina Driscoll. Tell them to vote no on this deal. It's a terrible deal for the public, and we're trying to get everybody out tomorrow to show that we're not supporting this deal, and they need to vote no. So we'll be there all day tomorrow at City Hall. I hope people can join us.
Okay, what time does it start?
It starts at 9 a.m. We're trying to gather people at 11 a.m.
Okay, it starts at 9. You want people to gather at 11.
Yes. So anybody that can come out, please join us. We need to let City Council know that this deal does not benefit the community whatsoever.
All right.
All right. So thank you very much. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you. Bye.
So this is when the power of the people get together, right?
Yes,
you
correct.
vote. So this isn't an election year. Let me stress this.
It is election year.
It is an election year. There's people who are running that need your vote.
Correct.
To get back in their seats.
Correct.
This is the time when leverage counts.
Correct.
More than anything else. Remember how people vote when it comes to your city when it's time for election. If your city council and more, because right now what you're looking at is the majority of Pinellas County is not for the deal. Can we say that?
Who can we say that the majority of Pinellas County?
A lot of or St. Pete. I can say a lot of St. Peteans. I don't know.
I mean, a lot of people aren't informed. I'll say the majority of the people are not informed on the deal. I'll say that.
Okay.
Because, it's people for it and there's people against it. It's people that are for it but don't know the particulars of the deal.
Right.
There's people that are vocally for it but don't understand that this is the largest land grab in the city of St. Pete's history.
And not only city of St. Pete.
These United States.
Yes, this is pretty huge.
We ain't seen nothing like this since the Alamo. Since they took the Alamo.
This is why we're spending so much time on talking about this, because this actually kind of is the heart of the city.
Yes, I mean, most definitely.
And so it's going to shape a lot of stuff that happens in this city for the next 20 to 30 years. So when you look at it, I mean, just like Karen just said, write your city council. There's a lot of people, and you don't know where your city council person is, whatever district you're in, which way they're going to vote.
And the reality is, we should know where our elected officials is voting on the issues that matter to us the most. We should know where they stand.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be a mystery. And so that is kind of problematic. So as they analyze and go under these deals and really watch these deals, contact your elected official. Let them know how you feel. I'm not going to put words in your mouth.
Right.
Because
you may be for the deal.
You might be for it.
So
read the contract, but read the agreement, read the bullet points, read and understand that this is not how it's done. Read and understand that if we want to do something new and transformational, it needs to impact the community and not private interests. We don't need to make billionaires bigger billionaires. That's just redundant.
Mm-hmm.
We have to service the issues that this community has said is needed for decades, and that's more housing, that's more business, that's more opportunities,
and not these high rises that's popping up that nobody can afford.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
And
it goes without saying. You got to say it. Only reason we got to say it is because people are playing.
What they will say is, "Oh, we're popping up places for people to stay
that can't nobody afford. They all empty." If you look at night, look and see how many lights on in them big ass. I told somebody this. Big ass AZZ. But listen, I told somebody this. They knocked down all the abandoned houses in the hood to move them downtown. So now when you look at the skyline, those are the biggest abandos you ever seen in your life. All of them are empty.
Mm-hmm.
And I dare anybody to test this knowledge. 90% of all the apartments that have been built downtown St. Pete right now are empty. I ain't saying somebody don't own them, but they ain't living in them.
Mm-hmm.
The lights ain't on.
Right.
They ain't living there. They're tax havens.
Mm-hmm.
So people are buying them to shelter tax dollars. And then if we build a whole bunch more, that's all we'll be. We'll be a tax haven where people are they're not coming here to stay. They're just parking their money here so they don't got to pay Uncle Sam. Yeah, it's a complex situation that we're in. And it's all right if you want to park some money down there, go ahead. But the reality is we have to have places for the regular citizens, the rank and file community members that make up this town, the people
So
who are
listen,
working.
I'm reading the comments. Some people saying not true. I don't know what you're saying, not true, but I see that comment deleted. If you want to join in this conversation, it is 727-637-2416. Again, 727-637-2416.
And we can address all untrue comments, anything that people feel in their hearts and souls, because we're not against free speech. We're not against y'all talking and saying what y'all.
We're not against growth here,
no,
right?
We're not.
Because
we can learn and grow.
Right, because there was some great things that I heard about the deal, and then there was a lot of not great things that I heard about this deal, right? But
and a lot of not so great.
But it's happening.
And okay. I see your comment. Okay, Yubi says if it was a good deal, they would take it anywhere to any city.
Right.
And the reality is, for the last 5 or so years, the team has been trying to leave the Tampa Bay area. And the reason I don't like the deal, well, a couple of the reasons, this because I got a lot of them, but one of the reasons is we're being forced and pushed and rushed into make this deal while they haven't signed the contract to even stay here. Their lease is up in 2027. The contract for to stay in the city of St. Pete is up 2027. And we're being rushed to sign a deal that will arguably have them be one of the biggest landowners downtown the city of St. Pete, and they haven't committed to stay here in writing. And I ain't talking about promises, because we're dealing with for-profit corporations. They have a fiduciary responsibility to make a profit for their company. So all this goodwill that they say this team got, goodwill goes out the window once you say you're a part of capitalism. If goodwill needs to be in the contract, the goodwill and the good faith needs to be written down with terms, with accountability measures. Hey, caller, we got a caller. Hey, caller.
Caller, introduce yourself.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi, my name is Ron Diner. I'm part of this No Home Run group.
Okay, hey, Ron.
Hi. I think the most important thing to focus on is the fact that there's a much better deal that could be done that would save the city of St. Petersburg $1.6 billion. And then everything we want to do, there would be that much more money to do it with. There's more money for affordable housing. The city has $5 billion worth of stormwater and sewer improvements that's got to figure out how to fund. We could spend money on scholarships for kids to get them to go to college, kids who are coming from tough situations, and so they could do good jobs. We could spend way more money on the $50 million set aside for, community activities. I mean, just think about $1.6 billion. Everything comes down to the fact that we should be renegotiating, and we should negotiate a fair deal. And if people are interested, they can go to nohomerun.com and they can see the details. And if they wanted to contact their councilman, they could go there and click on how to get involved.
All right. Thank you so much for that. We are talking about the Tropicana Field redevelopment, better known as the gas plant redevelopment. It's been going on here in the city of St. Petersburg for the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and the community is talking. They just had a meeting at Enoch Davis Center called Fix the Deal. It was a meeting by the Sierra Club, Faith in Florida, and other community groups. And so we really is trying to get the best out of this agreement. We're really looking to impress upon our elected officials. We're not happy with this agreement. We are savvy enough to see the previous development deal from Midtown, and then we're savvy enough to look at the deal and look and they're light years away from each other.
And what we don't want to do is get a deal and then somebody apologize.
I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't know what I was doing.
Right, to apologize. And we get that a lot when things happen.
But this is a different world. They ain't apologizing for nothing no more.
Later
See,
on,
that's
they will.
that's the old life. This new life, the way the things going, people are right and they're gonna be right and they ain't gonna be wrong. And they're gonna they're gonna put their career on it.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? They will put their career on it, and it doesn't matter because they looking to get a career or a job or a placement somewhere else. You know,
and so let's talk about that too.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you, and we kind of talked about this again. Nobody can guarantee you anything, and when they do, you need to really kind of look at it. And I'm gonna, because when they guarantee you something, when you're no longer useful to them, then you no longer have that guarantee.
And one of the things that I look at is will the least of us benefit, right? If you look at the deal, if you look at it, will the least of us benefit? Because we know that the billionaires will benefit. We know the billionaires, upper millionaires will benefit because they're going to get a contract. They're going to do whatever. But what about the regular citizen? And if they benefit, will their benefit be just a job?
And on top of that, there's a lot more regular citizens than millionaires and billionaires.
I think the billionaires.
It's not a lot of them.
But no, they're sucking up the oxygen. They come in and people feel.
But listen, the billionaires and these millionaires can help fund you, and you need that. But the regular people is what gets you in the office. Yeah. Because you need the votes.
Yeah.
So you can't forget about the regular people as well.
Yeah. So we got some comments, and I'm just going to blast through them. Anthony Williams, the voice of the people, King Jab. Christman offered all kinds of deals he didn't hold up on. Robin says the league survey shows 70% are opposed. The Rays won't release their survey questions. Karen says Kiana 100%. Robin, the League of Women Voters asks the administration to provide one staff person to answer questions from the public. They did not respond. It is their responsibility to answer our questions. I want to talk about that. A lot of people don't know what's going on with this deal because of things like that. There isn't no open question. There's no open dialogue. We've had the Rays Hines here. Yeah. We've had the League of Women Voters here. The open dialogue is here on the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, Cara Festa Radio, 99 Jams, community radio. This is where the open dialogue is at.
But it should be other places as well.
It should be.
It should be, especially since I'm one of the people that really believe in democracy, right?
Yep,
I believe that if somebody in the community feels like it needs to be on the ballot, I'm one of the people that
put it on the ballot.
Put it on the ballot and let the people decide, even if I don't agree with it. Because I live in a society where I believe that majority rules, right? And so everything that I might not agree with doesn't mean that it's necessarily right.
But our elected officials, and they said this, that they feel that's what they were elected for. They feel they were elected to allocate the largest development in North America without a referendum. Like, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to go on the line, but that's power drunk. We had a referendum for the pier. The pier was 14 acres. So now we have, and actually they had to be forced to have that referendum. People had to take it to court. People had to force them to do that then. And I think that's what needs to be happening now. We need to have a referendum, find out what the people who gonna pay for this feel, and then let the elected officials do their job. But I don't think it's the elected officials' job to make the largest development in North America without a referendum. I don't think that's right.
I'm gonna stand next to you.
Okay, I appreciate that. I love it when I get support.
You're not gonna be on your.
I love it.
And let me tell you, I like a lot of people on the city council. I personally like a lot of people on the city council. Let me say that.
Yeah.
I have a lot of respect for a lot of people that's on this council. But I'm going to tell you is that I will strongly suggest that you listen to your districts.
Yes. Listen
to your districts. I mean, honestly, because these are the people that vote you in or vote you out. And right now, the Rays and Hines deal need to kind of be at a a pause so we can get it right. I'm not against redeveloping it. I just want it to be done right because it can bring so much. Like go ahead.
So I'm glad you said that. Because when you say you're against this deal, people try to marginalize you. And first thing they'll say is, oh, you against redevelopment. Oh, you against the mayor. Oh, you don't like this city council member. You don't like, and that is so far from the truth. So you're marginalizing people because they don't agree with you.
And so it's just the opposite. I'm for the mayor.
Let
me tell you why.
Literally, I know you are.
Let me tell you, and I can say this, I'm for the mayor, but I also know stats.
Yep.
And I also know politics.
Yep.
And when you make a bad deal, who will not be the mayor again 9 times out of 10 is our mayor. Our mayor. When you look at it, because the deal is done. When you look at people in cities who've done deals like this, they do not get a second term. Yes. And what I do want is that our mayor do get a second term. What I do want is that our city council is still here, and that the people feel comfortable with the people that they voted. Because a lot of the people that's on there, I endorse. So I believe in your policies.
Okay.
Let me say that.
I heard that.
And so when I'm fighting, I'm not only fighting for my community, I'm fighting for y'all too. And as somebody who sat in the seat and made sure or got out there and walked and knocked on doors.
You did.
Right. Rally up people to believe in things that they didn't believe in.
You did. You have.
Hired people and convinced them to believe what I believe. So I owe my people that much to say, hey, make everybody stand on their word.
That's right.
I don't care who you are. I don't care how much I respect you. I don't care if I like or dislike you. Because there's some policies I don't like, but I still want everybody to stand on their word and do right for the people in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Yes, I definitely stand with you on that because when they try to make these policy and public issues personal, it is a way to quiet the masses. And there are people who feel the same way we feel about this deal. They feel it needs to be better. They feel that we need to do more in the community. We need to get more out this deal, but they are scared to be marginalized. They're scared to be ostracized by the people who are going to talk bad about them for not going along to get along. And that's been the issue, because I'm going to go along with you just to get along with you. And I'm not.
And I'm not. And you hear us say this all the time. I don't have to be right. I just want the situation to be right.
That's right. I don't got to be right, but make the situation right.
And I stand on that.
I got a couple more comments coming in. Robin, Florida Tax Watch report said the Rays must share revenue with the city in return for 700 million taxpayer dollars. There is no revenue sharing in the deal. That is preposterous. And right now we share naming rights. Right, we actually own the naming rights of Tropicana Field,
and we get 50 cents off of
every ticket.
Every ticket.
Now we're gonna trade that in, give them 60 acres, get them a new stadium, and not have naming rights, and not have none of the things that we have on the table right now.
Talking about this $50 million, which is pennies, because that's somebody's salary for 1 year.
Thank you.
Up there in upper management. So don't
shank you.
Yeah. Do not tell me about $50 million for a 20-year span, and by 20 years from now, $50 million is gonna be a penny.
Yeah, it's gonna be 30 million. And the reality is, this is just to be truthful now. The reality is the money that we're getting from out this deal is dollars that the taxpayers are already paying. So if you did a math check on this deal where the city spends X, the county spends Y, and the baseball team spends Z, mathematically, this deal will come out to us being 700 million plus, if not $1 billion, after we pay because these are bonds, loans.
So really, let me tell tell you, when you just said that, we're really just paying ourselves. So we're paying for it.
Yeah,
right?
and then they gonna say, okay, yeah, hey,
they're giving us back what we
some of
paid
it. No,
in.
it's some of it. They ain't getting all. Hold on, put all that over there. Get them this.
But thank you.
Listen.
Thank you for giving. So really,
And know what? You can get a piece of it. I'm gonna give you a contract because
so
you help.
really-
You get to hire everybody, and here go your contract. And hold on, Bob. What about all that other money? You go out. You get out of here. Get him out of here.
It's like the bank. We give
Take
you
your money and
and
give
then
your
you
money
put
back.
your money back in here. They get to flip your money.
Yes.
And flip it. Not give you loans on your money because your credit don't qualify for the money that you put in the bank to make sure that they keep on running. And then what you're gonna do is just get back what you.
Oh no, it's worse than a bank because at least a banking institution, owns the bank.
Yeah.
They don't even own the bank. We're paying payments for Tropicana Field right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lease, and we still owe money on Tropicana Field right now today. So what we're gonna do is knock down the house 3 to 4 years before we pay the mortgage off, build a new house, and take out a whole new mortgage and pay a whole nother price. And that isn't fiscally responsible.
So Jab say the NAACP stands behind this deal and still would like to know why.
Hey, we'd like to invite the NAACP. Come out.
Yeah,
any representative who want to talk about why this deal is important to you, whether it's the NAACP or what other group.
If you're for it or against it, let us
holler at us.
Come on in and sit right
We
here
wanna
at
talk.
this table with us and let's have this conversation.
Yes.
Because
and bring your bullet points. And I need you to be factual.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to not, because what people do is
put their opinion on it.
Hyperbole. It's called hyperbole. And then what they do is, and then they argue on the hyperbole.
Yeah.
But there are facts, data, and stats. Mm-hmm. And you may not have had this facts, data, and stats when you agreed to back this deal. But right now, the facts, data, and stats are out.
And this is a good thing, is that we're all grown and human. At any point in time, we can change our mind. We can run away, bribe this. You're like, you could be at the altar and be like, yeah, this don't feel good.
Listen, no, but what people, but see this, and I'm glad you said that, because people are so vested in it, their reputations, their livelihood, what they feel their future is so vested in it. But the reality is, you are correct. Your future and your livelihood, your reputation, it is. You right. You exactly right. It's on the line, because this is the largest deal in North America. This isn't just Tropicana Field. This ain't just the gas plant. This is the largest downtown development in North America. We need to act accordingly.
And I'll tell you, we're political savvy enough to know that nobody is going to get everything that they want. Right? We know that this deal is not going to be perfect, but we want more pros than cons at this point, and the cons are outweighing the pros.
So I think what it is and when you get in good deals and big deals like this here, you have you have situations and circumstances, especially deal this large. These are the biggest sharks in the Shark Tank, right? There's nobody bigger than MLB but a sheik in Afghanistan or Persia somewhere. Right. This is the biggest of the big.
Don't be intimidated.
But these are capitalists. These people, if you agree with them, you got to check where you stand, because their job and their fiduciary responsibility is make profits for their organization, as yours should be to make profits for your organization.
Hello, caller. Introduce yourself. Hello, caller. Call back.
Call back, caller. As city council, as the mayor, they all have fiduciary responsibilities to ensure that the right thing is being done for the citizens of this city. Yes, hello.
Hello, caller. Introduce yourself.
Hey, this is Jeremy.
Hey, Jeremy.
Hey, guys. calling about the deal that's on the table, I guess.
Yes, go ahead, talk.
Yeah, terrible deal, man. I can't believe the mayor's selling out the city like this. And any public official that's signing on to this is just shoveling money into a billionaire's pockets. It does nothing for anybody. There's no way to get out of it. I mean, it's every new detail that comes up is just it just gets worse and worse.
Yes. Thank you for that, Jerm. I mean, it's seeming like a lot of people feel that way. It feels like a lot of people who've read this deal, some of the points that Alan Delisle spoke of, the former economic development director of the city of St. Pete. One of the things he was saying is he's never seen provisions in stadium deals such as some that are in our deal that makes the city hold the responsibility, that makes this is what he said. He said usually with deals and private partnerships, oftentimes the private puts the money up and the public puts the land or puts the resource up. Now this deal,
we're doing it all.
We're doing it all. We're putting the money up, we're putting the land up. So all the first initial dollars that are going to be spent is going to be dollars from the city of St. Pete. And if you want to give us $50 million, city council, man, y'all give us $50 million. You ain't got to sell the land to do $50 million to the community.
Right.
You don't have to give away all our property and all our valuable assets to give us $50 million. You know what you can do? You can sell 6 acres of land and give us $50 million.
And you want me to tell you what your legacy is? The legacy is when the people in the community talk about you for years upon years and say how good you did to the community. The billionaires and the millionaires do not keep your legacy going on.
I would like to say
they don't.
I mean, hey, listen.
They really don't. Like, I mean, it depends on what you want your legacy to be, because everybody don't want to be known as one of the greatest.
But people are disposable to the upper class,
right?
And what I mean,
what we're trying to really because if you're doing it for the upper class, let's say that. Believe me, we seen it. We seen what happened. We seen what happened.
But listen,
a lot of times.
More often than not, because honestly, and this is not a shot at rich people, because
it's not, because
I'm good with rich people. I'm all right with rich people.
I'm really good with rich people. Let me say that.
But the reality is, to acquire such wealth, to really grow your business and really get to the B's, these people have to be disposable. You have to go, and somebody else got to come here. That's how it goes. I can't in love with you and our business misses $10 million, $20 million. No, get your butt going.
If my whole mission is to get as much profit.
That is the mission in capitalism.
Right.
So if you are operating inside of capitalism and you're operating on a board and all the groups, you have what's called a fiduciary responsibility to your organization. So once you are elected, say president, CEO, or even just employed by them, you have a fiduciary responsibility to help and push their agenda and help them get money. And I think that the people who have a fiduciary responsibility to the citizens have given their fiduciary responsibility to the Rays.
Yeah,
they're letting the Rays decide it, because you have not one stipulation in this deal. There's not one stipulation in this deal that we as a community asked for and was put on. Everything we're asked for is being stifled. The CBAC asked for $150,000 penalty if you don't build the affordable housing aspect. It was renegotiated to now only $50,000. And that's my fiduciary responsibility. If I was on the Rays and I'm either going to build a $300,000 affordable housing or give you $50,000, my fiduciary responsibility tells me I got to give you 50. I can't do it under the rules of my bylaws. How it's set, I can't do it, no matter how much I love the people. Because if my bylaws don't say look out for the people, if my bylaws don't say take care of the people, make sure the people are housed, if that's not in my bylaws, my fiduciary responsibility means get money. And guess what? I'm gonna still build that $300,000 affordable housing. It's not gonna be affordable. See, I'm gonna give you the 50,000, and somebody's gonna give me $1 million.
Right? Because I mean, honestly, hey, you can't be mad at me because I met my obligation.
You said if I don't do it, give you 50,000. Here go your 50,000. Get out my face.
Right, because if I can make $1 million, 50,000 and $1 million is nowhere. And I mean, we're just throwing numbers out there because we're not saying this is exactly what. But
it's like, for instance,
right? So we're just painting pictures for you at this point to let you know
it ain't right. You just paint a picture, let you know it ain't right, and tell them, hey, it ain't right. And then what they're gonna say is, oh, all this misinformation. If this misinformation, pull the bullet points out. Pull the bullet points of the deal out. Who's responsible for what? Who pays what penalty for what? And put the bullet points side by side. Don't just talk about the hyperbole. Put the bullet points out, because the contract is public. Right. And if you're correct about what you're doing and you're standing on the business for the people, come explain it. And come talk to us and answer questions. Don't say we're not answering questions. Don't say, oh, we got to go to city council. City council got to. No.
And I'm one of them people who tell you this right now is that I didn't have to go to city council when you wanted my vote. You know, you came and knocked on my door. You know what I mean? You send me emails. I got brochures. I got the whole 9
But now when you bought that bag, I got to come to you.
I got to come to you to tell you how I feel, but I didn't have to come to you for you to convince me that you were the right person. So if the deal is so good to me and convince me why I need to vote for it.
Wow. I mean, that sounds like something to me, because it do. Because honestly, sometimes it's convenient for us to just really bash people. And I'm
not bashing.
No. I'm just talking about what this is, because I've seen this, right? And so, I be in some meetings, I be around people, and I've heard this. I've heard the bashing of people because they don't support this deal.
And I'm not bashing nobody. And let me tell you what the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club do. We attack issues, not people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Let's say this. We attack issues, not people. I personally have no problem, and y'all can put this on the record, with anybody on city council, with the mayor's staff, with the mayor itself. We attack issues, not people.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm definitely, and I'm all right with like a lot of people involved. Like I say, I've sat down, had meetings with Andrew from the Rays.
He came in here.
Yeah, that's how he came in, because I've already been meeting and talking to him. But the reality is, your nice personality doesn't make this a good deal.
Right.
Your nice personality doesn't make this financially feasible for the future of our city.
Right. And just because we friends doesn't make it seem like it's feasible for the city. Hey, caller, introduce yourself.
Hey, this is Lane.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, good guys. I'm building on what you're saying. Definitely. The sad thing really for me is seeing all the organizations that are here that are supposed to represent the community and the people and the businesses in the area, and they're all just selling out. They're willing to sacrifice all their ethics immediately for some paydays or some kind of handouts down the line. I mean, the food bank in Tampa, the Chamber of Commerce, the NAACP, the small business organizations. All these people are supposed to be sticking up for people who can't do it, who don't have the time and the effort, the resources, and every single one of them is just lining up to sell things, give things away. And there's no way any of that's going to improve the lives for any in the city or any of the affected communities.
Thank you for that.
You said that too, because
yeah, those good words.
Those are very good words, and you're right. So you have things like the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, right? You have the NAACP, like he was just saying, and other organizations, and we're just an outlet, right?
Yes.
To inform people. But what happens is with the organizations and outlets, we kind of dictate how people are going to go and vote. For the people who do not have time to go out there and do the research themselves, they trust in people or organizations
to do it for them
and inform them the right way.
Yes. And that's why they throw their weight behind those organizations.
Right. And so because when you vote people in, you vote them in because it's somebody that you trust.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so when they make a decision, when I vote somebody in, I know that I may not always agree with everything that they do, but I want to rest assured that I believe that they did what they thought was best for the people.
But so I'm going to take that one step because there people think this is the best thing for the community, right?
Or do they?
They do, but the reality is the devil's in the details.
Yes.
Right. And if you're not going to get into the details, then you can't say that this is the best for the community. The idea of redeveloping and bringing housing and jobs and business space, that's what we hoping for. The idea of it, but the devil's in the details.
But do you feel like the organizations, it's their job? It's their job to know the details, because that's
their mission statement don't say that. I've been part of these groups.
Yeah, no, but
I've read the mission statement.
But that's how they push it.
That's how they push it. Yeah.
So if you push it and you publicly say it, you need to stand on it.
But the problem is their mission statement doesn't dictate or even put them in the realm of this type of thing. This development, because like when they say the Chamber of Commerce is for it, of course, like that's their realm. Their realm is, business owners, and office space, and those there. It's not the Chamber of Commerce job to worry about the fiscal responsibilities of our city. That's our elected officials. So these groups can come out, the NAACP, they can come out and say everything they want to say. That's their right and that's their priority. I mean, their prerogative. But the fiscal responsibility comes to the city council.
Mm-hmm.
That's whose job it is to make sure that the zeros and ones come together and that the math is mathing. The Chamber of Commerce can only just give an opinion because they didn't read it. They couldn't have read it. It just came out. They endorsed it before it came out.
Right, they did. Right.
So they didn't read it. It's the idea that these groups are romanticizing and loving, the idea of redeveloping the gas plant, the idea of it. But the devil's in the details. These contracts, these Yale and Harvard graduates are putting a 1-2 on these homegrown heroes. They're putting the 1-2 on them. And you have to be all right with saying, hey, you know what? I might be outclassed right here. Let me call a Yale and Hale graduate. Or let me get somebody in here who can better represent us against the Sharks.
Carla, introduce yourself.
Hi, this is Karen again. I'm just responding to the fact that this deal did just come out. So nobody even had the information until April 25th. And so I don't know how they could have endorsed anything.
Listen, Karen, I that's why I'm giving them the benefit of doubt and saying they're endorsing the idea.
What they did was they had that. So let's clear it up really quick, because they had something on the table.
The worst deal.
And so now they had nobody we kind of talked about that, and now this is the reimagining, the revised.
But it lost housing. See, it lost elderly housing. The elderly housing isn't on there. I don't know. They probably forgot about the seniors. They might have got.
No, they gave them the legacy building.
That ain't. You know how many seniors here?
I know. I'm being funny.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say. You know how many seniors here? So
Go ahead, Karen.
Yeah. So we just need to make sure that all the promises that were made that we're supposed to get out of this deal, that they're still in there in those development terms, and we're not seeing them. Everything that they promised, we're not seeing those affordable housing units anymore. So, we need to do a recheck and make sure that this really does benefit the community, which I don't think it does anymore.
Thank you for that. And I definitely want to say thanks for the watchdogging, right? Because that's kind of what they're doing. And I know you might be taking some flack for jumping in this, Karen, but thank you for doing the watchdogging, right? Because we need groups and we need people to read those contracts to break out those bullet points.
And I understand why people feel in politics, because the people who don't agree with the masses, they usually shun you out.
Yeah.
Right. They try to tarnish your name, make you tell everybody that you're crazy, and then talk lies on you so that you're no longer a valuable resource for the community.
Amen.
I've seen it happen all the time to good people who no longer, well, and they still fight, right? Because they believe in the people. And when you don't agree with the masses, sometimes they turn your back on you. So I understand why you kind of try to
get along.
Right. I understand because you got, and this is real stuff.
It's
right?
pressure. Yeah, no, I hear you.
You really got, not only are you're trying to do a service for the people, but you also have a household that you want to maintain and keep and make sure that you still have a job to go to tomorrow. Right.
Tremendous.
So I understand that too, but you also sign that you have a duty to the people who vote you in to do what's right. And if you treat your people right, they got your back.
I just want to say this to all the elected officials, administration, and people who may be listening. We need a better deal. Right. We need ownership options on site, right? We need profit sharing, right? We need to share the profits with the naming rights. So a lot of people talk about it, but they don't know what we're asking. Right. And I want to say this clear. We need profit sharing, right? If the team leaves and sells, we need a piece of the profit. They're worth $1 billion, $2 billion right now. Once they get this deal, they're going to be worth $10 to $20 billion. So if they sell, we need a 10 to 20% cut. So then we can get our $2 billion back. Or whatever the number is, right? 200 million, whatever the number is. I'm just really, because I'm saying this, because what they try to do is say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't. No, we want profit sharing. There's profit sharing models for other teams, other organizations who built stadiums, and they got a piece of the profit. They got a piece of the naming rights.
And listen, don't use, and you can't go both ways. Use that like, y'all the worst in the league, and then use also for your good and your bad.
Yeah,
like I'm not buying it. You know,
and know what? The $50 million, give us naming rights and keep the $50 million.
Give us both.
No, because we'll get the $50 million out the naming rights.
Right, but
we'll get the money. We'll get there's ways to get the money. You don't have to give us anything. We can get our money.
Listen, give us both.
Okay, get it all.
Get it all. They want it all. We want it all. What you mean? No. It ain't one or the other. They want the land, the naming rights, and no profit share. They want it all.
They want it all. And they got it. This agreement shows that they have it all. We will walk away from this agreement May or in June when they sign off on it. We'll walk away from this agreement 86 acres less and like $200 billion or whatever. Whatever.
Hey, caller, introduce yourself.
Oh man, it's King Jab, man.
Hey, King Jab.
Hey, I appreciate y'all conversation this morning. And the thing about it is too is even with me on my show, I spoke about it and I asked why would the NAACP support this deal, and I know it ain't no, well, they don't want, nobody wants to answer the question. It's the same thing that's been going on in our community. You rather get an attitude because somebody questioned you versus answering the question.
Ooh.
But you want me to tell you why they get an attitude? Usually people they don't have the answer. So no. When people get an attitude with you for asking a question, it's because they don't have the answer. They're not knowledgeable about why they're doing what they're doing because somebody else told them that they should. No, when you're confident in your delivery and you know why you're doing something, you answer confidently. When you ask the teacher and you question them about why they doing this, they come back with you with facts. They don't come back with attitudes. You get attitudes and confrontation when you're not confident in why you're doing something because you can't answer it properly.
So King Jab, when you was talking about this on the Voice of the People every Thursday here on 99 Jams Bird
at 9 in the morning,
when you was talking about this, so you saying you got pushback or you got some like resentment because of the conversation?
Oh man, bro, a whole lot of resentment. And then I really, really looked at it, man, and dug into myself and really said, I don't care nothing about the resentment because the people that's in position is really in the position behind the deliverables that we all gave, the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes,
if
sir.
you got a problem with us questioning you, then that's the issue that first need to be addressed.
Yeah.
Because we not your children. We grown people, and if you come out with a institution that's a staple in our black community and support a deal that ain't even been put on the table yet, you supported the bad deal, the first deal.
Wow.
You shouldn't have a problem with us questioning you, or you should have put a press release as to why.
Wow. Well, I mean, I definitely unite with that, King Jab. I think oftentimes, just like we was talking about with parents to children, sometimes our leaders don't feel they owe us an explanation. They don't feel that we deserve to question them. I've ran into that same problem in this community. They feel like we don't have the authority or the whatever to even bring questions to them. And then if you question them, you get ostracized, you get labeled, right? But the reality is some of these questions need to be answered. You know, some of this stuff.
All these questions need to be answered. And let me tell you, not some.
Talking about people don't know what they talking about because you ain't answering the questions.
And
Right. And
we're
then,
not.
and you're not putting the information out there. And the
No.
information that you're doing, you're skipping over
Everything that matter.
So the main thing is you're getting attitude because we think we're questioning your authority. No, we're questioning your intelligence. So you should absolutely have an attitude about that. Because now we're questioning all y'all intelligence at this moment. That's just what it is.
Thank you, Jab.
Oh no! Oh no! We questioning all that.
And know what it is that when if you're backing something, we want to be confident that you're backing it for the right reason.
Yes. Oh,
right.
Yes.
And so when people are coming to ask questions because we believe in you, we voted you in, and we feel like you had the best interest for the people in your district. So when your district is asking you questions, we're making sure that you are knowledgeable enough that makes us comfortable to say they got this. And you can't be mad at the people who want to make sure that we're good.
I mean, I agree. I agree because I think what the issue is all too often we want to marginalize or control a thing, right? Whatever it may be. And
we got 3 minutes. Call it. Go ahead.
Phone line swinging.
Yeah. Hey, caller, introduce yourself.
Hey, this is Ron again. You've said it just right today. Two things. The two things that you've said are just right on is that the people on the other side have no objective reasons for what they say. Second of all, what you said is at the end of the day, we're going to give away all this property and we ain't sharing in any of the profits.
Yep.
Period. Thanks.
Yes. And that's what we need. We need profit sharing. We need ownership.
Wait, can I say this? Is that we've been on this, we've been talking about this.
We can make our money back through profit sharing, y'all. We can spend.
We've been talking about this before you say this, and everybody, and I know there's people that's watching.
They looking
that's for this deal,
and you can be for it,
and that's fine. But none of them made a comment, and none of them called, right? To back why it is, and why is that? You know what I mean?
Listen, the reality is there are.
I want to be for the deal.
You do. I know you do.
I want to be for the deal, but I know for a fact that there's people watching, listening, and could have called and said this is not factual.
But we're asking for the proof though. We're not asking them to say it's not factual.
Or just give me your opinion because a lot of
you can give me your opinion.
But we're asking, we put the number out there and told everybody to call in, and not one person who said they backed it done called in. And I know that they're watching and listening.
And I want to say this: a lot of the promotion and press that's been going on around the stadium is coming for a for-profit company called Raise Hines.
Yeah.
So a lot of the media that's been coming out is really being paid for Like, it's been paid for and promoted, and the true community conversations start here. Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, 99 Jams, Careful Radio.
So this has been a nice Wednesday. What's on your mind Wednesday? We have to get out of here. What's your final thoughts?
We won't smoke. We want all the smoke. Who won't smoke with us? Who won't smoke? Hey, yeah, thank y'all for tuning in, and yeah, we here for it.
Yeah, stay tuned. We're gonna keep on having conversations like this.
Yes, we will.
Be the change you want to be. And see, I don't care if they like it or don't like it. Do what's right for you. Right now, those 5 things. Write down those 5 things that make you feel good, giggle, smile. At the end of the day, because life is too short not to
life is too short
not to appreciate all the goodness that happened. And y'all stay tuned.
Show up tomorrow, 11 a.m. City Hall. City of St. Pete.
They said they're gathering at 11. It starts at 9, but they're gathering at 11.
Oh, I'm gonna be there at 9.
Okay.
So pull up.
Yeah. So
I ain't playing.
And then catch me later on at the plug report tonight from 9:30 to
shout out to my plug.
Oh, to 11:30. 9:30 to 11:30.
Shout out to my plug.
All right, stay tuned for Sister Hughes.